Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, revenge is a dish best served hot, as Running playing as the Celts in blue and Mihai playing as the Malians in yellow meet in the gladiatorial coliseum we call Arena to duke it out for our entertainment and some elo points. So all the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age and most likely Castle Age ASAP. Why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today? Now, the Celts are a civilization built around their need for speed. Their lumberjacks work faster, which is great because the Celts need lots and lots of wood for their primary focus, which is siege. Celtic siege workshops work faster, their siege units fire faster, and all of their siege workshop units can be upgraded to get a massive 40% extra HP. Now, coming back to the need for speed, Celtic infantry do move faster than normal starting in Feudal Age. Their castles and towers can be upgraded to attack 33% faster, and their unique unit, the Woad Raider, is the second fastest infantry unit in the game and comes with a pretty good amount of HP and a pretty strong attack. Which way will the Ibex go? It goes right. Now, in order to feed a big, hungry, growing population, the Celts can steal and convert enemy herdables, even if they're standing right next to the enemy unit or town center, which is not really going to be a problem for our Malian in this game, seeing as how his herdables are behind closed walls. So unless he lets the Celt in, what's the expression? Lets the fox into the hen house. I don't see that bonus coming into play anytime soon. Now, speaking of the Malians, we've got an infantry unit, rather a civilization classified as infantry, but they are so much more. To start with, sure, any units produced in a Malian barracks, or trained in a Malian barracks, I should say, do get free extra pierce armor starting in Feudal all the way up to +3 in Imperial, and their unique unit is the Gabedo, a quick infantry unit with a pretty strong ranged melee attack, but terrible HP and 0 base armor of any kind. But beyond their infantry is where the Malians get a little bit fun. In my opinion, their cavalry can be upgraded to get a massive +5 attack boost, which is amazing for them, because even though they don't actually get hussars or paladins, with the Farimba upgrade, their cavaliers actually have a higher attack than paladins, and their light cavalry units and their camel riders, rather their heavy camel riders, are some of the strongest in the game. Now, if instead you choose to go the route of the archer, you'll have plenty of wood to train your army, since all Malian buildings except for farms cost 15% less wood. Now, in order to help you build your military up as fast as possible, Malian gold miners do drop off 10% more gold. Their universities work almost twice as fast, and their settlements can be much, much harder to raid because the Malians can upgrade their town center, to fire 8 arrows when it's empty, and up to 18, I'll repeat that, 18 frickin' arrows when it's fully garrisoned, compared to the usual 10 fired by most other civilizations who have their town centers fully garrisoned. Bit of a mutual whack attack here as these scouts, their HP is actually going down at the exact same time. Who's going to win this? Oh, please don't disengage. Please don't disengage. How is that possible? I never understand how any of this works. I guess the Celtic scout had a literal split-second advantage over the Malian scout, but there you saw it at the bottom left of our screen. Their HP was going down at the exact same moment, the exact same amount. So yeah, those are the two civs we've got in front of us. Lots and lots of potential for fun late game shenanigans out of these two civilizations. But again, I don't want to predict anything. I don't want to risk this game ending in the next 5 minutes or something like that. But let's take a look at the bases on Arena. Very important, a few things. Number one, where are the resources located in proximity to these walls that everyone starts with? Because even though they demolish their rear-facing walls, they generally don't demolish their forward-facing walls. And so not really any risk for this stone being lamed. The primary gold for our Celt, nice and secure to the back. Primary gold, unfortunately, very exposed in the front, not to laming, but to any kind of aggression from our Celt. We'll see whether or not that actually happens. For now, our Celt, being the only one with a scout, is the only one scouting the map. How much did Mihai see before his scout died? Oh, mama. He saw nothing but a relic. He saw one relic. Okay, at least he's not playing the Lithuanians or something like that he needs to get these relics ahead of his opponent. For now, he is safe and sound. Like I said, behind his walls. Although if you look at the walls, what do I feel like Mihai's walls are much longer than these Celtic walls. This Celt has a smaller surface area to defend against aggression, whereas the Malians walls, oh man, I mean, they're just really, really, I want to say almost 50% longer than the Celtic ones. We'll see if that's an issue. We'll see who pushes into who first. Both of them having a few extra nooks and crannies to expand into. It looks like our Celt has one big one to the back to the two of the Malian. Now on Arena, I have to mention the usual 3-part meta that is mostly followed by players of this Elo. Both of them at 25 population, both of them going up to the next age. It looks like our Malian has one extra villager and will reach Feudal Age, I want to say 30 or so seconds behind his opponent. Yeah, it makes sense. 30 seconds. He did train one extra villager, which is 25 seconds. And then he's got 6 seconds of idle time. So that's 31 seconds. So when running gets to 0, there should be 31 seconds in the top right of your screen there underneath that Roman numeral 2 with the kite shield. But in any event, Arena, generally a 3-part meta. In the first stage of the game, the players rush their butts up to Castle Age. And it looks like with 537 food, 160 gold, 530 food, 188 gold, they are going to be very ready to click up to Castle Age once they complete, I'm assuming, a blacksmith and a stable. Maybe a blacksmith and a market. Now there's a blacksmith and a stable for our Celt. I did not even look at the top right of our screen, even though I said I would, to see how far behind Mihai is, but let's see what he decides to construct. So stage 1 is still in full swing. Okay, market and a blacksmith. So he just wants to get up to Castle Age, I guess, to train monks as fast as possible, because once the players get to Castle Age, the first stage of the game is over, and stage 2 begins, where the players start fighting over these relics. Now, a big question mark: do these relics defy the laws of physics, or do they have a special encryption on them like Mjolnir, where only the worthy monk, or maybe now even the worthy warrior priest, can pick them up? Although not exactly going to see a warrior priest in this game. We'll see as both players now click up to the next age. And yeah, again, I think about a 30-second or so advantage, maybe a little less, for our Celt, as he now accrues a massive, unacceptable 2 seconds of TC idle time. He was housed there for a second while he was going up to Feudal, but has enough population space for 8 more units, Mihai for 3. So not at any kind of risk of being housed are these players. Okay, he's popping down more houses. Let's see where the relics are and how far away. It looks like the relics are actually surprisingly evenly distributed in a bit of a... If you tilt your head to the left, and I'm going to highlight the relics, although highlighting them from this distance doesn't really help. It kind of looks like a W, right? With the point over here, here. Any event, and a silliness, we've got 2 Celtic scouts. Does Mihai have any military infrastructure at the moment? He's got 750 wood, which tells me he is interested in perhaps 2 extra town centers when he hits Castle Age, whereas with a stable, our Celt is primed and ready to start pumping out some monks. There we go. Immediately hits Castle. Immediately Ark of the Covenant will get lowered into its secret compartment. And we'll see whether or not Mihai follows suit. He's got enough wood to do basically whatever the hell he wants. 1,000 wood. Interesting that our Malian with the gold bonus has less gold than our Celt, and our Celt with the wood bonus has less wood than our Malian. Was I right about the 2 town centers? 1, 2. Where is the monastery? Okay, so it looks like our Celt may be out on the map a little bit earlier than his opponent. He must have by now seen, yeah, he's seen the entirety of the center arena here. Our Malian, unfortunately, still, this vision is just absolutely atrocious. I still don't understand how it works sometimes when the units attack each other, or at least it seems like they attack each other at the exact same time. Why one unit always beats the other? Is there no murder, suicide, murder, death, MDK, murder, death, kill, or whatever the hell it's called, mechanic in this game where the units kill each other at the exact same time and they both die? We'll see what Relic Blue goes for first with a scout over here, by the way. He sees nothing coming out of this gate. Might want to send a second scout over here. As long as he sees nothing coming out of these gates, he is free to take the furthest relic. And I highly recommend, if you are playing a situation like, or you're playing in a situation like this, where you've knocked your opponent back into their base, they've got no scout, they've got no map presence. Now, again, it would behoove him to maybe put a scout over here, because now he would have seen that monk. But if you're in Running's position, and you can see your opponent leaving their base, and you see there's no one leaving, go after the riskier relics first. Go after the furthest ones. These ones close to your base, you can always get them. They're always going to be guarded by Mother Nature and her Komodo dragons. But the riskier ones always, in my opinion, I feel like the same thing for resources. If you can safely mine resource patches, for example, blue in this one, which is all the way to the eastern portion of the map, if you can mine that resource patch safely and then mine your own closer to home, why not do that? But in any event, I'm not the one playing. I'm not the one sitting here stressing out. Is this the weaker scout? No, it is not. Where is the weaker scout? Oh, he must have healed him. Okay, very nice. So not a Georgian scout, so he does require a little TLC from those monks. Uh-oh. One monk, fine. Maybe two is going to be a problem. Oh, decides to delete him. Now, because these were not light cavalry units, because they're basic scouts, they need 3 whacks to kill a monk instead of a light cavs 2, because that attack bonus is not quite at a 10. It is at just at a 6 right now. And let's see now. Scout is on monk hunting duty, and it looks like, okay, Running is going for the more risky relic, and he's going the wrong way. Mihai's gonna see it. He's gonna see it being pinched right from underneath his very nose. That is very sour. Now, had the monk stayed around, of course he would have died. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Why did the monk not die? Oh my god. Oh, because he upgraded the monk. Okay, the monk has 45 HP. Interesting. Okay, not the 30. So Mihai, realizing that, oh, okay, well, he's gonna lose it anyway. Realizing that he's, oh, and now he's gonna use this converted scout, and these guys do not have 45 HP, so just they need 3 whack. They need just 3 whacks. Mihai, realizing that he cannot compete in terms of cavalry out on the map, and cavalry, the natural hunter of the monk, decides, you know what, I'm just going to roid up my monks a little bit. I'm going to get him up to 45 HP. He still has 1 monk. Where is this monk? Oh, he's moving out. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know that 1 scout unit is enough now anymore. So he roided up his monks with 50% more HP. And that made it a little bit harder for the scout to kill. Now, don't get me wrong, every lost monk is still 100 gold. Not exactly a Hussite reform monk at the moment. Has Mihai? Yeah, he's seen the last relic. So it's currently 3 relics to 1 for our Celt. So, by the way, we are in stage 2 of the game, if I forgot to mention that now that the players are in Castle Age and fighting tooth and nail over these relics. Who will see who first? 2 ships passing in the night. Look at the line of sight on a monk. What has a higher line of sight? A monk with block printing or a trebuchet? I feel like a treb would have, although I'm not too sure. I don't know why these thoughts enter my mind in the middle of a cast. Probably you should have a diary where I make a note of all these questions that I have and then figure out answers, as opposed to just running my mouth in the middle of a cast. But you know what? If you're watching this, if you've stuck around for a year or so, I'm assuming me running my mouth is not really the biggest detractor for you. And here we go. Mihai's going to try to body block with 1 scout. He is going to fail. But look at that. Okay, another conversion. Mihai with 2 conversions already, which is doesn't seem like a lot. The number 2 is not exactly the highest number in the world. But on Arena and this stage of the game, it is not bad at all. And Mihai is heading up to Imperial. All right, Running looks like he's got the same idea. Are we going to get to see big, giant Imperial Age clashes? Uh-oh, Running, be careful, be careful. This is a one-way trip for you. Oh, he knows that he backs away. Now, honestly, at this point, 3 relics to 1 with the 4th making his way home. Running probably should have sacrificed these 2 scouts to go in here, keep Mihai pinned back so that Mihai can't run out and try to intercept the monk, who, for some reason, has stopped, perhaps trying to... Perhaps he's a little scared of the Komodo dragon. Why did you stop? Hello? Uh-oh. I see a blob of yellow heading straight for this monk. Uh-oh. This is not the moment you want to stop. This is not the moment you want to stop. As one player moves forward with a castle, one player securing the eastern portion of his settlement with a town center. Why did you do that? Okay, you know what? Mihai's reaction time not the greatest right now, so he may lose. Amazing play so far out of both players with their monks, but this is what I was talking about. The gold not really easily lamed right at the very beginning. It wasn't like right here or something close to the walls, but now that our Celt is pushing into here, and by the way, our Celt didn't see that the gold is here. You know what our Celt did see? This patch of gold, and he wants it. He wants it real bad, and so that's why he placed his castle. Had those two scouts come into the base, the relic count would be the same 4-1, but at least Mihai, I don't think, would have been able to snipe that monk. In any event, stage 2 of the game, ladies and gentlemen, is completely over, and we are now entering stage 3, the best stage, where like a little kid with 2 action figures, one in each hand, they're just gonna slam into one another over and over and over again until one of them just gives up and says GG, I hope. Oh yeah, these gold miners are a little bit exposed here, but these are not exactly the strongest of units. Only light cavalry with no armor upgrades whatsoever. 1, 2, 3, 4 town centers for our Malian. Let's see if we get to see Tigui, which is the upgrade that gives them 8 arrows when empty. What we are seeing is a Gabeto throwing her Kapinga in the air. One of the coolest chill animations in the game. My second favorite after the Japanese samurai who sheathes and unsheathes his katana to see whether or not it is still sharp enough to take the souls of his dead enemies. That is a Suicide Squad reference. 4 town centers for our Celt as well, who is now putting up... What? Our Celt is going Cavalier? I took a lot of flack during a live stream months and months ago when I said the Celtic Paladin was not... not the worst. And then I was reminded that it's missing the last armor upgrade. I was reminded that it's missing bloodlines. And so it might be, it might not be the worst, but it's definitely in the bottom 5, I should say. Right? I think so. I think even the Burgundians get all the upgrades, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself thinking Paladin, but for now we've got Cavalier on the way. And look at the resources for our Celt. He's definitely going Paladin. He's getting Blast Furnace as well. So he wants these heavy hitters out ASAP. A few Malian hand cannoneers. We got armies starting to get built up. And this is, like I said, my favorite part of Arena. Although, don't get me wrong, stage 1 is always fun to see how the players set up their economies. Looks like the Gabetos got a kill here. They are just so ridiculously fast. Look at them outrunning the Cavalier. 1.35, 1.38. They run faster than this heavily armored man on a horse. And there's the Paladin upgrade. Our Celt is going Paladin. Our Malian is going Gabeto. What the hell is going on? Where's the siege workshop for our Celt? Where are the Farimba camels for our Malian? What he's doing is he's creating a bit of an envelope here so that this incursion by the Celt, I honestly think this might be a bit of overkill right now by our Malian. Lots of downtime for all of these villagers. How many are constructing right now? 15 minus 3 is 12. This castle is not going to stay up. You know it's not going to stay up. Why are you wasting so much time creating this wall off? That's 12 villagers that were idle for a good 30 to 60 seconds there. And now you've also clogged up the works with the gates here to the gold mining. But don't worry. If there's one thing you shouldn't worry about, it's the ability of the Malians to mine gold. Upgrades on the Gabeto, non-existent. 1 armor upgrade. Upgrade on the Cavaliers, fully attack upgraded. Armor in... Okay, never mind. I was going to say in a few seconds, but he has... why did I think he started researching it? I don't know. Malian Castle. Now it's your turn to fall apart into a giant pile of dust. Let me ask you, is it worth repairing this with 16 villagers, or should you just be mining the gold while the castle gets attacked? Because 16 villagers mining gold for a few minutes, or rather stone. What am I talking about? Gold. Stone. Uh-oh. Raider is coming in here. The Paladin, still moves slower than the Gabeto. Absolute bedlam here. What am I looking at? I mean, our Celt knows he has husbandry, right? He's not the Teutons. Gebetos insert themselves into a wedge here. Oh, are they enough to one-shot? Oh, he garrisons them, ungarrisons them to the north. Heads, where is he heading? Why are the villagers not running away? Paladins are now fully upgraded minus husbandry, which again, inexplicably, our Celt is not researching. I'm not crazy, right? The Celts get husbandry. Castle will finally go down. How many kills for the Gebetos? 10 on 13 is not great. Looks like the Paladins have survived. 19 kills on these 22 units. Also not great, but for a heavy cavalry unit. Oh my god, they made it all the way across the map just so that a Komodo dragon... This is... I mean, this game just... it was so quiet for like 30 minutes. I mean, I know there's action happening to the north. If there's anything happening, there will be picture-in-picture. I just need to see the Komodo dragon kill a hand cannon here. Blue didn't even need to be here. Oh my god. 1 kill for the Komodo dragon. Blue really did not even need to be there. Oh, and look at this. Now he's using this little choke point here. Now let's do the math, because you guys know I love to do my mathematics. We've got 25 Gebetos, okay? They attack on a 14. The armor, remember, they do melee damage, not pierce. So that crazy pierce armor of the Paladin is not really going to come into effect. So they have 4 melee armor against a 15 attack. So 11 damage. There's 26 of them. So they are more than enough to one-shot a Paladin. And their attack speed is 2 seconds to the Paladin's, well, 1.8, 1.9. One gets converted, though. Immediately gunned down by her fellow friends. Anytime I see the Malian Gebeto, I'm always reminded of the Wheel of Time series. Fortified walls for our Malian, too. I'm always reminded of the Wheel of Time books, the Aiel, and the warriors that they have. By the way, what the hell is this? It looks like he built a wall, but didn't complete it all the way after that gate fell. F you to this market in particular, says our Celt, who is at 200 population. Treb not really doing much. But again, these Gebetos are now enough to one-shot Paladins. And by the way, Gebeto versus Paladin may not seem like a fair fight until you remember the Gebeto is literally almost half the cost of a Paladin. And I don't know what the hell is going on here, but there is a lot of dead fleur-de-lis on the battlefield as the Paladins need to get the hell out of here. Now, in a game as wonky as this, where our Celt is going suboptimal, our Malian is, I want to say, suboptimal too. You're a civilization with one of the most powerful heavy camels in the game, and your opponent has gone heavy cavalry. Farimba camels would shred these Paladins to pieces. But in a game like this, I'm assuming the players have made a conscious decision to have fun with it. Ooh, Celtic Siege finally out. Basic Onager, though, misses. More and more units being streamed in here. We are seeing 55 Paladins. Now, last game we saw, spoiler alert, wait for it. If you don't want to be spoiled of the game a few days ago between these two Titans, then skip ahead 30 seconds. Oh, he deletes his own wall. Why? Why is he going after the Trebs? He's going after the Trebs. The Gebeto's holding their ground beneath the castle. We'll see if he gets more than one. He's definitely going to get one, but I don't know if he's going to get more than one. Now, the game we saw between these two a few days ago, man, did Mihai struggle with his Burgundian Paladins against the Tatar Steppe Lancers. I mean, in all fairness, when you're facing 100 Steppe Lancers fully upgraded with silk armor, anyone's going to struggle. Unless, of course, you've got 100 Roman Scorpions to deal with it. Looks like the Paladins are just running amok inside this base. And I can kind of understand what our Malian is going for. He has the mobility with the Gebeto. It is fully upgraded at the moment. But, yeah. Like I said, both of these players really building suboptimal, and you can tell they're having fun with it because running has one onager here. It says he's got two. I don't know where the second one is. Oh, there it is, to the north of our screen. But if he really wanted to put these Gebetos out of commission, he would be getting siege onager and he would be hunting them down and trying to rickety wreck them. He will lose the Onager to the north. He might even lose the Treb here. What is this castle firing on? Oh, it looks like a contingent of light cav. We're trying to get the Trebs in the center. Actually, will he get the Treb? Yeah, he will. He's at a +2 attack, so they are fully upgraded for what they are, minus Farimba. But our Malian, you'll notice at the top of your screen, has 9 gold. Not 900, not 9,000, 9. Our Celt is not exactly gold rich himself, and looks like he's going to lose this castle as well, although maybe not. The Treb, the bombard cannon do back away. Now this is an interesting siege combination. That's why I said in the beginning of the game that this matchup lends itself rather to a few potentially interesting. Oh, finally clipped a few with the Onager, but the Onager does go down. It lends itself to some interesting what's the word I'm looking for? Combinations, army compositions. Because on the one hand you have the Celts with siege engineers, but they don't have bombard cannons, I don't think. And on the other hand, you have the Malians who have bombard cannons but don't have siege engineers. And so they're a little lackluster with their basic 12 range. Now here's the annoying thing about the Gebeto. It just misses so much. How many Kapingas were thrown at these Paladins and how little damage was actually done. But the Paladins are just throwing themselves into the meat grinder here over and over. And the second they stop in this choke point, now they're in trouble. Mihai with double the army count. He's down 12 villagers. Both players are now have been knocked down to the 150s, 160 supply. Paladins, I mean, what the hell do you do here? There's 1100 HP of Paladins wrecking your economy. More Paladins being sent to the north. In the center, you've got 3 okay, you know what? 3 is doable. 3 is manageable, especially for the Raider of the Lost Trebs here, because you know he's going to sneak in here. 1 Treb down, 2 Treb down, and that's it. He lost 6 Gebetos for it, though, which is not the cleanest of trades. Not the cleanest of trades at all. 6 Gebetos is what? 240 gold in exchange for 400 gold of your opponent. But the important thing is he's at least put a dent in the Celtic war machine here as his economy just keeps getting wrecked. Our Celt has killed 94 villagers. This is slowly becoming a point of no return game here for our Malian, where he's gonna have to push out with 1 massive push. I don't know how he's gonna afford it. He's got 100 wood. He had 1 chicken McNugget in his bag. He had 1 food a second ago, so I don't know how he's gonna afford. Oh, this is so unfortunate to watch. Usually it's the Gebeto who's the raiding unit. Now the Gebeto is just stuck here on parade formations. At least put them in the castle if you're not going to use them. At least let them get healed up a little bit if you're not going to use them. But look at the complete shantytown. Deadwood, South Dakota. Without the cool casinos that is the Malian base. It is just a ghost town is the word I was looking for. Not shantytown. I don't know why I said shantytown. But here comes that Frankish light cav. They don't get hussars, so this is about as good as it gets for them. Frankish, not the Frank, the Celts. Who, by the way, do get hussars. I don't know why my brain all of a sudden thought I'm watching the Franks. Maybe because I'm seeing Paladins. Okay, more raiding. Another town center goes down. Our Malian has been knocked down to 1 town center. He is being penetrated more and more, even though he still has the lead in army count because these 40 Gebetos, no, he's splitting them up. He is splitting them up. And now I'm not too sure. Now, I guess he's fighting light cavalry, so I guess you can split them up. I made that sound much worse than it was. He actually has secured himself quite well here. And oh, no. Oh, okay. The villagers are leading these light cav to their deaths, which is not bad. Not bad. He's going to clean that up, but I'm going to zoom out because he's down to 33, 32 Gebetos. He's secured himself to the north. He's secured himself to the east, although there is 1 more paladin here. And our Celt is just going to keep doing this. Every time he kills more and more Gebetos, look at our Malian's resources. He's got nothing. If only he had the Commander and upgrade, he could train himself some wood crossbows But this is about as bad as it gets here for our Malian. His civilization is collapsing. He is lashing out, though. One final death throes attack. 154 villagers killed by the Celt. Yikes is all I can say. Maybe my maybe the thumbnail for this video will just be yikes, because that is absolutely atrocious. Now, usually with the Celts, you raid with Woad Raiders, who have the actual word raiding in their name. And here we go. Are we going to see a big climactic battle? Maybe not, as the castle falls. No more castles. 2 town centers left. Not too sure where that light cap thought he was going straight to his death. And here we go. Maybe if you engage in a choke point. No, leave this open. You want to let your opponent into here. That is a perfect choke point. Trebs are moving north. They're going to start shelling away at, I want to say, critical infrastructure, but I don't think our Malian even has regular infrastructure left. Now he's starting to build stable. Now he's adding stables. I guess now he's going, okay. Does he at least have Tigui? Yes, he does. So these town centers, as you can see, are empty, but they are still firing 8 arrows, doing 8 damage to a paladin that only has 5 pierce armor. Yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time. He's lost control. Okay, he's lost control of his relic. He's being raided everywhere, and now there's paladins, so it's not just light cavalry. You're going up to 24 paladins. And holy moly, what an absolute weird but overall amazing game. I mean, do you agree? Do you disagree? If I had a, Age of Empires bingo card, Celtic Paladin versus Malian Gebeto would definitely not have been on that card. Now, one or the other, maybe, but not versus each other. That was pretty bonkers. Our Malian, I wonder if the loss of that scout right in the very beginning of the game here, in that horrendously unlucky. Again, I don't know if they attack at the same time, what makes one die over the other. Is it like a monk? Is it like a random number generator that pops out in Age of Empires? I'm not too sure. But it's always fun and annoying to watch if those two can be, those two emotions can be had simultaneously. But what an absolute crazy game. I really do wonder if the loss of that one scout and the fact that he just had no map vision kind of crippled his ability to collect relics, although it really didn't seem like he wanted to collect relics. He got all that wood. He got his 1 town center, 2 town centers up. He didn't even build a stable until these 2 popped out. And whereas if you see your opponent is going suboptimal paladin, again, let me know. I think the Celtic Paladin is probably one of the worst paladins in the game. If you're seeing your opponent is going one of the worst, even if it's not one of the worst, let's say just this paladin, 160 HP and missing the last armor upgrade, and you've got the ability to train heavy camels that have a +5 attack boost. And on top of that, remember, heavy camels with their +18 bonus against paladins. I don't know why our Malian didn't add in a few camels. Farimba is not a cheap upgrade, but like I said, because this is a ranked ladder game, because I cast 99.99% ranked ladder, sometimes you just see these fun shenanigans-filled games where, like I said, I know there's going to be comments, why did he do this? Why didn't he do that? Whatever. The players chose to have some fun. It's not always about crushing your opponent. Sometimes it's about trying new things. Sometimes maybe Mihai wanted to practice his Gebeto play. Maybe Running wanted to practice a paladin, and he just happened to randomly spawn a civilization that gave him that opportunity. Ooh, looks like a bunch of kills here. 20 villagers killed. So Mihai, 28 villagers killed, but look, look at Running. 171 villagers. You don't come back from that. That is just like, yeah, that is just a death knell. 302 kills, 292. The kill count, though, is incredibly similar. And our Malian just absolutely, I feel like, what's 302 minus 171? Like 131? 131 to 264. Yeah, 264. So literally half the military kills. So Mihai, with the defender's advantage and that clump of Gebetos, look, this clump of 17 has 48 kills. So he killed double the army, but he lost, I mean, 171 villagers is just ludicrous. So I'm glad we at least got to see that. That's fun to see. 191 Paladins, 94 Gabetos. And surprisingly, the Gabetos held their ground, especially with this little poke in and poke out over here before he put that house. They just kept coming out, one-shotting those Paladins. That was amazing to see. PKPM towards the end of the game for running, PKPM right at the beginning of the game for Mihai. So a little bit of a contrast there. The economy's, I'm surprised it's not bigger. This is only 26,000 difference. That's about 40% bigger economy. I'm shocked it's not 50, 60, or 70% bigger with all those villager kills. A lot more relic gold, almost 3,000 more relic gold. And look at the difference. Forget wood and forget food, even though food is 10,000. Look at the gold. Holy moly, that's like 14,500 more gold. Crazy. I can't see conversions really playing a role. Nope, 2 conversions apiece, and building destroyed by our Celt. Celts do what Celts do, just like the Goths do what Goths do, and they just crush and destroy everything in their path. And these trebuchets with that 25% faster attack, not exactly Cataperuto, but they got the job done in this case, and Mihai just takes way too many paladin swords to the back of the villager's neck, and even this one ends the game with his sword raised, about to kill this poor villager carrying. I still don't know what the hell they carry, what this thing is. I'm assuming some kind of bucket of water from the well, although I don't think I've ever seen a well in Age of Empires, so it doesn't really matter why I don't know why the farmers hold it. Oh, maybe, you know what, maybe it's to gather the berries in? I don't know what this animated bucket is, or what the hell it's supposed to symbolize, but it doesn't really matter. He killed 171 villagers. Unless you've set your population cap to like 400, 171 dead villagers is almost the full 200 population. So Mihai just ultimately at the end of the game has no resources, no ability to replenish his army. Why? Because he has no freaking economy. He's got 47 villagers. And even though he racked up a few good kills towards the end there with these light cavalry units of his own, one thing you'll notice is that they are not at +7, they are just at +5. And so without Farimba, the Gabetos can hit and run, they can hide behind their walls all the live long day, but at the end of the day, they just cannot take this Celtic army on, rather head on. There's a better way of saying that. They can't take the Celt army head on, even though, like I said, both of these players, I think, were just having fun this game. And that's the best kind of game, in my opinion, where the players are just absolutely loving it, because our Celt could easily have trained more onagers. Our Malian could have easily gone Farimba camels. They both chose not to. Instead, they just both chose to absolutely slam into each other, like I said, like a little kid with a Batman doll in one hand and a Superman doll in the other. And they're just slamming them. F you, Ben Affleck. F you, Henry Cavill. Just one into the other until finally running proves himself to be the superior slammer, takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.